well, let's start it off.
Okay.
Okay. Welcome back to part 2. I'm Arielle.
I'm Emma.
I'm Jesse.
And I'm Dave.
And
We have nothing to look forward to.
If you had to make a list of the things that you do for Emma and I on a daily basis, and don't be shy.
Ooh, that's a great question. I mean, there's a lot of little things. Things like
Yeah, name them.
controlling lighting, making sure which lights are on and not on and how bright and that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Selfishly, I just also like that.
Mm-hmm. You're a lighting guy.
Oh my gosh, what else? I mean, there's like little things like in public, just being more aware of my surroundings, of not just what am I going to bump into, but what are you going to bump into? A lot more hand holding for non-romantic purposes, to just be like, let me just scoot you out of the way. That's a curb.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
Oh, a little romantic scoot.
A little scoot.
You sort of tug my shirt if I'm going to get too close to the road.
Yeah. I feel like I just will just fill in the blanks, basically.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if there's someone off in the distance coming towards us, try to be like, oh, that's Dougie. Or I just made that person up. Just so she can know before they show up and doesn't have to give them the squinty-eyed, stare
Fish
you down face. Because a lot of people aren't aware to say, hi, Emma, it's me, Dougie. They'll just be like, hi. But I know you want to be sensitive how other people feel, too, because you're aware, or at least, I don't know, maybe overly self-conscious of how other people feel when you're squinting and worried they might think you're just being like a jerk or...
Yeah.
But you've just gotten so much better at that. I know that's not the question right now, but you've gotten so much better at being like, hi, I can't see in this lighting. I'm not sure.
Like, who's this?
Can you announce yourself kind of thing?
Yeah.
What else? Yeah. What are other things? I'm not really...
Everything.
Everything.
It's like it happens 100 times a day where I'm like, can you do this because I can't see that? Or what does this say? Or can you read this label for me?
I mean, reading to the kids in the evening isn't really a thing that you can do much anymore.
No.
Without, doing it down here with all the lights on or something on the couch.
Yeah, which isn't like a super cozy bedtime environment.
Yeah, to have all the lights cranked.
Dave, what do you do for me?
Well, you're just very good at asking for help, so I might not even know what I do because you just ask for help. And Arielle starts every single request for help with, "Can you do me a favor?" Which is so funny to me because you've never stopped doing that.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. And
I don't even know I'm doing it.
Yeah.
yeah, and so I'm not helping you. I'm just doing you a quick favor.
Yeah, just a little quick favor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So there's that. I remember in the cognitive test, Arielle, you went to university.
Yeah.
I've always thought when we first started dating, I was like, this girl has a great vocabulary. I want to marry her. She's a critical thinker. I liked all these things about you. And then you did a test for MS and it showed that you had cognitive delay. And in the background, I was secretly writing on a piece of paper all the answers to that test because I could hear it.
Mm.
And I did worse than you.
Dave, what do you have?
Well, I'm a dummy.
But a cute dumb.
Native.
Yeah. I feel like there's been a couple of times, I think in the cognitive delay part, I've had to kind of, be the receptionist to something that's complicated or a phone call or partner with you and help you do the math on something.
Mm.
I just feel like you are so good at just asking for help that I don't really notice that I'm helping you.
Right.
This has been harder for me lately, but we'll be having a conversation and we're like, oh, remember when we did that? Like this happened this other year, and I have no idea what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I do not remember this thing. Not only that happened 6 years ago, that happened 6 days ago or something. I just forget things that we've done that are really meaningful to you, and were probably very meaningful to me. And I just say that because I don't remember it.
Yeah.
But then
you don't
feel
share
like,
the same memories anymore.
yeah, like I don't have the same memory.
Yeah.
But that's been more obvious to me lately. Like you help me.
Yeah, I have noticed that lately. And so I guess one of the things I've been doing sort of in the background, I've always done this. I'm obsessed with nostalgia and I just live in the past. And so I have every home movie from when I was a kid and I have everything digitized and archived so it'll never be lost and every photograph and all that stuff. And so I've been finding more purpose in holding on to some things like that so that you can remember those things, especially with Murphy here. I've just been recording the hell out of her life.
Yeah.
And you've been telling
So we
me
can
to
come back.
record more things.
Yeah.
Like I found a video on my phone the other day that I completely forgot when I was going for a walk, and you're like, you should record your walk and write a message to say a message to Murphy. And I did that. And I don't remember doing that, which is so cute.
Yeah.
That's a
But-
PSA
So cute
for
of you.
It is cute.
It's like a message for you.
Yeah, and it was kind of a reminder for me of what I was doing in that moment. But that's the thing that for me is kind of like that's the thing that's the most embarrassing for me. Because I still feel a lot of embarrassment in our relationship. Or I'll get really mad at myself that I forgot something, and then the mad just comes from me being embarrassed or sad about not remembering it. And so I feel like that's something that you really do really well, is you're not like, I can't believe you didn't fucking remember that. Not, but that for me, you really help me remember things, or you're very generous when I don't remember something. And you also, I don't know if you noticed this, but I've noticed this more, that when we go for a walk, I need to link my arm with you.
That's true.
Not in a romantic way, similarly,
Yeah,
just
gross.
in like but no more in like a functional way where I don't have balance when I'm walking. And so I'll like loop my arm with yours, because it's nice to feel secure when I'm going for a walk, you know?
That's definitely a good thing about, I guess, being in a partnership with someone, or, you know, a romantic relationship, is that you say that now and I remember, but I don't really, I wouldn't have
Acknowledge it
even
when it's
thought of that,
happening.
that I do that.
Yeah.
It just sort of happens, and it's just part of the fabric of your life. And when you do grab my arm because you need some stability, I'm I don't go down a rabbit hole where I feel, or I remember that you have MS.
This is because she's disabled.
Yeah,
She doesn't
It's all downhill from here.
Yeah. Yeah, you wouldn't touch me if you were healthy.
I met Jesse the day that he got his G2. You're 17? 16?
Yeah, 16 or 17.
So you've literally been driving me around my whole life. So I think I do very much rely on you for rides.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's true.
it's true. I can't drive.
Hear that, kids? Get your G2.
Yes.
Get a girlfriend
Yes.
for life.
Yeah.
Totally. I think similarly to you, Arielle, that we have a unique relationship in that Jesse travels and then I'll be on my own for some stints of time. And I notice how much I rely on him and depend on him in those times. Because when it's happening, it just does seem like a very natural dance that we do. But recently when you were away, I felt the weight of the world because I didn't have my emotional sounding board. I'm also very extroverted and just in general am more talkative because the world around me is usually described more audibly than visually. So I like having things to touch and talk and feel, and not having that around made me feel like I wasn't myself, if that makes sense. So if Jesse's in the room, I need to be touching him in some capacity to feel secure. But then that also scares me because maybe that's a codependency that somebody is going to therapize and be like, this is unhealthy.
No, fuck them. They can't therapize that. Away from
In fact, fuck therapy. All right.
Like I probably have an anxious attachment style. I'm
possible, but, like-
codependent. I need to be touching you at all times. I need to
I
be
don't see anything wrong with codependency. That seems kind of the whole reason we got married.
true. We wanted to be
Was-
a team that depends on each other.
Yeah, it's like makes life a little bit easier when you got a buddy to do
A
it
buddy
with.
to do it with. Yeah.
Yeah, being cooperatively dependent
Yeah.
on each other sounds romantic.
I know, right?
Aw.
So I definitely
But being
noticed when you're not here.
codependent, yeah.
Yeah,
Which is
it's
the
better
same
than
words.
not being able to ask for help.
Yeah.
Someone is like
Oh,
got a
yeah.
lot of pride or
Yeah.
doesn't know how. That would probably be really hard for someone who has an independent streak that just prevents them from even knowing how to accept help. I deal with that sometimes. I feel like I always got to be the person who does the hard thing,
Yeah.
or else I'll go to jail.
Yeah. Obviously. I say a lot to Jesse, can I use your eyeballs? Instead of
Oh yeah, you do say that.
instead of can you do me a favor?
Yeah, that's
my
your-
version
that's
of
your
that
version
is
of,
like,
"Can you
can I
do
use
me
your
a favor?"
eyeballs? And he just will come over. Yep. What do you need? I'm like, I need you to do this, do that, whatever. I even say that to the kids now, and they like
They get it.
they get it. I'm like, hey, Dorothy, can I use your eyeballs? And she'll just come over and, what do you need? Which is really helpful.
I like that. I like that there are so many people doing us favors all the time.
I know. It bothers me that I have to do that though, because
Ask?
I'm such a stubborn, independent person, and I would rather sweat and cry my way through something than ask for help.
The amount of times that I will do something and like fall over, or do something and trip into a wall or something.
Yeah.
Or I'm just alone in the house and like
I
you're
like to
upstairs
push
and
to
I'm
the
just doing
limits
it. Yeah,
and
and
see.
and I'm like, you deserve that.
Yeah.
The thing that happened to you, you did it to
You
yourself.
did it to yourself. since you
Enjoy
didn't
that.
Stop and ask
You
for help
didn't
when you
stop.
could have.
You could
You
have
literally
done-
live with a golden retriever puppy man who will
That
help you
is exactly
at any
right.
moment.
There's a big crash downstairs,
Yeah.
a bunch of glass breaking, and then out of the silence, can you do me a favor?
Basically in my life. Okay, tell us the story.
Okay, so one time I was in the basement with Levi, and
How old was Levi?
he was two-ish.
Okay.
I was in the basement doing laundry. Yeah. And I was like, I had my head in the washing machine, pulling the clothes and putting them in the dryer. And we used to have this exercise bike in our basement. And that was like a thing that the kids were so drawn to, is like this bike in the basement. But we were always like, don't touch it. It's dangerous. If you stick your finger in it, don't do that. But I had my head in the washing machine and Levi had his finger in the exercise machine and like cranked it
No.
and then started screaming. And I looked at him and just saw like red all over his hand.
Yeah.
And so my brain like went into shock and didn't know like how severe it was. So I went and got a paper towel and tried to like clean it off to see how much it had cut. And then I like ran it underwater and it was squirting on the bathroom walls. No. Sorry, we're eating.
No. Keep going.
Apparently fingers like bleed a lot when you get an injury. So I knew it was bad because the blood was squirting.
Yeah.
I could see that, but I couldn't see like where the cuts began and ended or like what the thing was. And I got so upset that like I was too blind to see what the severity of the situation was. So I called Jesse right away and was like, I think we need to take him to the hospital, but I have no idea how bad this is. And I need you to come and have a look at it. And he ended up needing like 12 stitches on the finger.
Yeah, you got a stack of them.
He got a stack of them. Oh. But that was like one of the first moments where I was like, oh shit, I can't see well enough to care for him properly. And it felt awful.
Can we have a more lighthearted blind story?
Okay.
This is my favorite. Sometimes I'll just be alone and I'll remember this moment and I will laugh to myself. Emma and I were in New York on like a work trip that she was like, allowed to come on. I let her come on. No, the client was like, yeah, she can come. And
Pre-diagnosis.
pre-diagnosis, this is 2017.
Okay.
And a friend of mine who like got me on the job, he had just like finished his first like big job of his life. So he had like made a huge paycheck and was like, I'm buying sushi. Like we're going out to a nice sushi restaurant. It's on me. And he did, and it was amazing. And he ordered like everything off the menu for us, like bottles of sake, every different fish thing.
I love this delicious.
Wonderful evening. The layout of this restaurant, I'm trying to think of the most efficient way to describe it to you. The door is in the center of the width of the space, and you walk, like you would line up from that door towards the counter where they'll eventually seat you. So there's seating on the left of that line, there's seating on the right of that line, and on the right, it also goes further back because I guess of the kitchen or whatever.
Okay.
And we're in that little back section, and Emma had to leave to go to the bathroom. So she leaves the back, walks past the counter, goes to the bathroom, and on her way back, there's a lineup of people. And it's a dim restaurant. And so she like walks into the line and just goes like, excuse me, and gets some people to part ways in the
Two
line.
people, like a couple that was having a close conversation. For some reason, I was like, I'm going to go through them.
Yeah.
Because they seem like the nicest people to go through in this line.
However, you can't walk through this line because there was like a high wall.
And this couple was leaning against it, but I couldn't see that. So I just went right in between an intimate couple having a conversation and like gutted myself on a half wall.
Excuse me.
I went like, what? And then they both were like, are you okay? I'm like, oh my God, I did not see that wall there. So then I was just like, holding my gut, walking back to the table being like, oh my God, the worst thing just happened to me.
Really, like unobserved.
Just rammed my gut into a half wall. Like, I think they thought I was so stupid.
It's definitely not as funny. It was just like a blind person walks into a pole.
Yeah.
But it was like you went out of your way. Excuse me, everyone.
I need to go into
I
this.
got something to do. And then you walk into a pole.
I have a question for you, Jesse.
Cheers. I'm just adjusting.
I'm sorry, whose podcast is this? Just kidding.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Do you have any advice for people who have a loved one who are going through, because you've been at this a while, learning the ropes of being a partner to someone with a disability. Do you have any advice for people who have a loved one who are going through learning about a disability and or having one?
Probably. I mean, probably it's mostly don't be an asshole.
I knew you were going to say that.
Signed up for.
I knew that was going to be the first sentence. Don't be an asshole. Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not a very traditional person, but surrounding like marriage, I just grew up being like, yeah, this is what we're signing up for, is not an easy life, but like a life where we just do all the things together. I always treat it like we're just signing up as a lifetime partnership. Like the whole sickness and health thing, like that's what we're doing. And this is just the sickness part of it. And in all likelihood, there's coming a day where the sickness is me, right? I have some type of sickness where I have to lean on you for support.
Yeah.
And this isn't like a selfish, like, you better help your partner because one day you're going to need the help. But it is a helpful way to remember that nobody chooses their diseases or their sicknesses or their troubles or whatever. And ideally, a marriage is a person who can help you through the things you didn't choose or you did choose and fucked up. I don't know. But just like helping you through the harder, suboptimal parts of life. I don't even understand the purpose of being in a relationship outside of that, other than like, I guess like pleasure and like fun is good also, but it's fleeting.
That's a great answer.
Okay, thank you. Do you have any?
The same. I like your answer.
Ditto.
Yeah.
Considering the fact that you both may have already started the slow
Transition to new relationships.
Oh,
sorry.
Yeah, of course. Those other relationships you have. No, like you're slowly.
Ouch. Yeah, doubt it.
Yeah, right. Oh, for sure, Jesse. Your other girlfriend.
I don't even know how to talk to girls.
I know.
I mean, you're slowly becoming more and more of a caregiver, right? Every year, we're not getting better. So the pressure of that, I think, has led to, very likely, the dissolution of some marriages. For sure.
Oh, yeah.
Because
people leave their wives and husbands
for way less.
A coma all the time.
We had some trouble in the early days, and MS was a part of it. We lived on Charlie Lake in British Columbia, near the town of Fort St. John. And I got so mad.
Juicy.
I needed to throw something. And so I looked around. We're having an argument. And one of the things was like, what are we doing here? I wanted to be a filmmaker, and I want to live near my friends. And I miss buildings that are made of bricks.
Yes. Yeah. You needed to have a little tantrum.
Yeah. And I'm looking around and I'm like, I'm going to throw something because I'm so filled with rage. And there's all kinds of things around me, and all of them are made of glass.
Nice.
Except a pickle lid.
Pickle jar.
So I picked up a pickle lid and I threw it across the room at a cupboard, and it just made the like a cheap tinny sound.
It went ping pong ping. It went off of multiple.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It was like I was trying to do a complicated disc golf shot or something, and that's when we realized that something needed to change.
Was that the closest that you think you've ever been to wanting to divorce me? Did you ever feel that way?
Well, I'd have to, so many times, I'd have to look back.
You need to pull up your like memory journal.
Yeah.
Because I don't remember, so you let me know. But like, was that I should not be so flippant. Was that the closest that you have felt to there being a real problem?
Yeah. Probably. I think that was the apex of problem because it was just like MS was another thing added on to some other hard things that we were doing and trying.
Were you thinking about MS in that moment that you got mad? Like that was part of where the
I don't think I was
from?
consciously thinking about that, but I think it was part of the subtext of like everything we're
It's too much.
the vibrating, the frequency
everything we're
vibrating.
doing is new and
Yeah.
all the new things are bad.
Yeah, and none of them are working.
Yeah.
And so I think that filled me with anger and rage and boiling blood. I could totally see someone being in a relationship with someone, they get a diagnosis and they don't know how to cross that bridge.
Yeah.
And to do more and more new things. Because when you're in a relationship, you get kids, maybe you buy a house or you figure out where to live and you do all these new things together all the time. It just keeps going until you go to a retirement home, and then that's new and everything's always going to be new. And when the new things all feel bad, you want to revert, you want to go back and want to reset. And I definitely had that feeling of like, I would like to reset something. So we moved back. And that wasn't just because of my feelings. Like it was hard to get medical treatment for you and get some of the scans and procedures that you needed done.
Yeah, because we had to like fly from up north down to Vancouver every time. And then it was like, or we would have had to have like driven to Edmonton. And I've now only gone down to like 3 days a week that I work. But at the time I was still working. And so it was just a lot to manage.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like
Right? I was working, right?
you were working. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like adult partnerships like this, they are an exercise in evolution. A lot of people think about marriage in I think a really traditional sense, which can be helpful as a framework for a lot of people. But my experience is that it is like the relationship is constantly changing, and the people are changing more than they've ever changed before. I know marriage changed me more than anything else has, except for maybe having Murphy. Maybe that's the next thing, because now I've so many things I don't care about that I like the day after. I just didn't care about so many things. It's really weird.
Well, those are all the questions that we have for you today.
Should we say our like sign off?
Oh
thing?
yeah, we should say our sign off. Actually, we should say, first of all, Jesse and Dave, what are you looking forward to?
Like what time scale?
And at any time.
Absolute nothingness. No.
Absolutely, you're looking forward to that.
Yeah. No, I don't know. I don't have an answer right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
You don't look forward.
Yeah, I don't do a whole lot of looking.
What are you
forward.
thinking about right now that's exciting?
I don't feel excited right now.
Great.
You're just like nothing forward.
Yeah.
Nothing forward.
Yeah, nothing forward.
Nothing forward. Great. Okay.
Yeah.
The only thing I'm looking forward to is not having to worry about food, money, or going to the bathroom and just playing with my baby.
Yeah. Okay. I'm looking forward to the fact that I also get to be with Dave for another at least 30 years. Emma, what are you looking forward to?
Come to the table. There's the pancakes you made.
There's 3 more pancakes over here.
There's more
Forget
coming.
about them. There's no time.